Okay, so welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Bash. Today I'm gonna do Danganronpa review. Okay, so the first thing I gotta say about Danganronpa is, bro, my girl Chiaki, she got done dirty, man. I'm telling you, Chiaki, she did not get what she deserved, man. She deserved way better. But just off rip, I'm gonna be there's gonna be like hella spoilers. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm just gonna talk about like everything. I got the little Box 15 playing in the background. That's the best OC. I'm not gonna lie. Box 15 way better than Box 16. So I haven't finished. I haven't like caught up to date with all of the Danganronpa series yet. The ones that I'm missing are Danganronpa 3 and Ultra Despair Girls, and that's only because I'm staying faithful to Berlin. Okay, I'm staying faithful to my boy Berlizzi because he hasn't played them yet, and I want to make sure to wait for him to. I want to make sure to wait for him to actually play the games instead of watch someone else play it because I gotta stay loyal. And it's taking his time with this one. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of don't blame him for taking a break because I'm not gonna lie. Danganronpa takes the piss with like the story or the pacing. But we'll get into that when I fully get into the review. So where do we start? Danganronpa Uno. Start with the first one. So I'm going to be talking about the game and the anime. So I'm going to be talking about Danganronpa 1, Danganronpa 2, and then Danganronpa 3, the anime basically, and Danganronpa 2.5. So basically all of the games apart from like the spin-off ones, um, apart from Danganronpa 3, the game, not the anime, and what's it called? Is it Ultra Despair Girls or something like that? But yeah, so let's get into it. So Danganronpa 1. Danganronpa 1 obviously is the foundation, it's the OG. I've watched the anime and I've watched a playthrough of the game. That game, it was pretty solid. It's pretty solid, but just like Danganronpa 2, it has like the same problems, if that makes sense, where the pacing and the script does not keep up all the time. Bro, the pacing, it that's it's probably like the biggest critique that I can have for Danganronpa, like story wise, just like character design wise, like character wise, like a lot of other stuff. I can't complain too much about, but the pacing, nah, that's one thing that has to be fixed, honestly, or one thing that I could say that's bad about it because trials, like if something goes on for too long, then you just like it just loses like its flavor, if that makes sense. It's like chewing gum. Okay, it's like chewing gum. If you chew it for too short amount of time, you're gonna be like, okay, it was wasted. You could have like done a lot more with it or enjoyed it for longer, basically. But then if you chew chewing gum for too long, you're like, it gets to a point where it's like, ooh, this is super good. Like the trial is amazing. It's immaculate. Like the trial is at such a good point right now, and it's been like an hour already, so it's probably finishing up soon. Tell me why there's 5 more hours left of the trial. Okay, it's not actually 5 hours left, but you get the idea. Trials can go up to like 2.5, sometimes 3 hours. Bro, I'm like, bro, why is it so long? Pause. Okay, that's what she said. But honestly, they could just make they could make it a lot better if like sometimes it just went on for way too long. Like, bro, the trials that sometimes they get to the point where it's like, oh my god, this is like just the right amount of length for it to be good. Pause again. But then it just carries on, and you're just like, bro, can you end this? Like you're just sitting there, like watching, like, okay, is it gonna end soon? Like, oh, there's plot twist after plot twist after plot twist after plot twist, and then you, it's kind of like, ugh. But then one of the good things that I really do like about Danganronpa is just like how much it makes you think, because obviously the first 9 solutions that you come up to are never the right ones. So that's like something that I really like. I really like mystery or something that makes you like think a lot, use your brain. That's why I like a lot of people like Death Note a lot because obviously Death Note is the OG and like how much. it actually has to do with like mystery solving, like mystery, all of this stuff, and it like uses that and encapsulates like good parts of genres of mystery genres and puts it in there. It has horror, it has blood, even though it's purple or pink or whatever, but it's still really good. I really love Danganronpa one. Like Danganronpa one, it was kind of like it was just like a good introduction to the world, to the universe and world building basically. Because obviously before that, we didn't really know anything. We didn't know why. We were just like, okay, you're all wake up in this classroom. Monokuma's being a little schmuck, you know. You have to like figure out the mystery of the school and why you're there. Everything. That's what like encapsulates, and that's what like keeps me going and keeps me wanting to be like, yo, what's gonna happen next? Like, I really want to know what's gonna happen next, and that's like one thing that does really good because there's a lot of mystery behind it. You want to know why the hell everything's going on. Why is it being broadcasted? Why no one any like you understand? So that's what like made me want to stay to the end and find out the mysteries. So were the mysteries good though? I say they are good for the most part. They really are because I mean, I don't know because at the same time, I'm kind of like in a mix, like in the middle, because I'm like, oh, that's a really good. Part of me is saying, oh, that's a really good like way to continue the story, but another part of me is like, oh, this kind of useless. Like this kind of useless, bro. You made like everybody kill each other, just so then at the end it'd be like, oh, by the way, the whole world is like destroyed and everything. I'm like, bruh, what? So you're telling, and I guess that kind of goes into the whole despair thing that what's her name, Junko Inoshima, that's what she lives for basically. So it kind of makes sense to where she would be like, oh, there was no hope for you anyway, because even if you did win the trial, you would have no world to go back to, and you can't even leave this place, right? So I guess on that part she did do the whole despair thing correctly. But then it was still like, yo, we did all of this. Sakura, bro. Sakura's death was like one of the most sad because, bro, she was like, everyone was attacking her, and she was like, no, you have to stick together, bro. And everyone's like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. But let's talk about the death. So Leon's death, his execution, that shit was kind of scary, but where he got hit with like 1,000 tennis balls, like that was brutal. And I forgot what her name was, the singer girl. Bro, honestly, she was selfish, bro. She was selfish. She sold her band members. Like I think I don't remember. She saw her band members in the tape that everybody had was given. And then how selfish is that? She's like, oh, I'm gonna kill everybody just so I can leave. Like, bah, like, bro, like what? Everybody else has a motivation to leave, and everybody else has a reason to leave. So why are you being so selfish and like hoping? I don't know, man. And then she tried killing the one person that was actually nice to her. Like, bro, like, like you're a Subarashii, man. Honestly, off rip, you're Subarashii. How are you gonna, my boy, Hajime? No, was it Makoto? Sorry, you tried killing my boy Makoto initially, and then Leo came in the mix, and then he, reverse card. That's kind of sad, but she deserved her death, bro. She tried killing Makoto, like, and he was the only one who trusted you. How could you do that, bro? Anyway, I don't remember specifically the death after that, but what I do remember is Monokuma. Monokuma. No, why did I say Monokuma? Sorry, I meant Sakura. Sakura's death was like so sad because I think she killed herself. It was ranked as a suicide. And then, bro, don't get me started. You know what? Our Akahina, she's a schmuck. She's a snake. Okay. So I get that everybody was being mean to Sakura. So she knew that Sakura committed suicide, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna tell anybody because you guys are the one who killed us." So she was gonna do like a whole suicide pact thing. Like what is wrong? What is wrong with you? And then not just that, because like majority, like half of the people were innocent. They did not do anything. You're telling me that Makoto is the reason why she killed herself? No, like he wasn't even mean to her. Like I get everybody, they were like untrusting each other and everything. But then she literally tried. She said, "No, you're to blame. You killed her. You killed her." I'm like, oh, like she literally tried killing everybody there, even whether they actually were mean to Sakura or not. And how selfish is she? How selfish is that? For her to be like, oh, I want to kill everybody, including myself, just because you're the one who were responsible for Sakura's suicide. I'm like, bro, is this nigga serious? Like, you get me? Like, that's why I don't like Awaka Hina, man, because she literally tried killing everybody when everybody wasn't even responsible for her suicide in the first place. Like, okay, and what else? You know, Buyuka. I call him Buyuka, but Byakuya. The ultimate prodigy, affluent bro, tongue twister, the ultimate affluent prodigy. It was kind of like a love hate relationship with him where I wanted to like him because he's like such a badass in a way, but at the same time he kept pissing me off. Like every time I was like, okay, I made my decision, I like you. He would do something that would like piss me off, and I was like, but you're a schmuck. Just leave it there. You're a schmuck. And what other characters were there? So, oh my god, you know that guy? I forgot his name. He was like the ultimate. I don't know if he was like the ultimate leader or something, but he was the one who got like white hair, and then he had red eyes later in the series, because of some random reason, and I think the ultimate moral compass. Him, yes, I forgot his name, but I know that he's the ultimate moral compass. He was annoying like from start to finish. Like honestly, I didn't really have a reason to like him in the first place. But then he just got like super obnoxious, being like, oh, like just walking around going like, oh, thingy. And not only just that, like when Leon got killed, and then he started acting depressed and shit. I was like, oh, shut up. I know that like he was like your bro and everything, but it was so annoying how he just acted. He did not speak for like, like I don't even know how many like two whole chapters. He just didn't speak. He was just like that. He just got depressed, and then all of a sudden he just becomes like, oh, I'll go Super Saiyan, and then he just became annoying, and I was like, oh, whatever. But I'll tell you what, another horrible character in the series, and that is Celeste. But the reason why I hate Celeste is, bro, she's a manipulative, selfish, everything, bro. Like seriously, you know, I actually really like Celeste because I'm not gonna lie, she is my wifey. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna lie. I actually really liked Celeste. I wanted to like her. I like the way she talks, everything. I was like, bro, this is my wifey, bro. And then she ends up being a schmuck. I'm like, you're ruining it. Look at my lips. You're ruining it. Man, she was, oh, the fact, literally, she manipulated, is his name Fumi, the fat guy. He was like the ultimate, like, hentai drawer. I think he was the ultimate, like, fan fiction, yeah, the ultimate fan fiction creator. Hey, him, I feel like he a real one, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really like him in the first place, but then, like, the fact that he was willing to, like, kill somebody because he thought that someone violated Kazuto, like someone violated Celeste. Like I don't know, it's kind of like a little bit admirable because he was like so upset. Like he got manipulated into thinking like Celeste was like, oh, they did stuff to me, and then that's why he tried killing them. But like, damn, that's why I don't like Celeste because she lied about being she lied. She basically did a false, you know, thingy accusation, and then she was like, "Oh, just go kill them." I was like, "Oh, yeah, you did not." And then she did all of that because she wanted a castle full of freaking what's it called? Full of vampire guys, like literally the worst reason why any of them the worst motivation out of all of them, basically. Like every single murderer in Danganronpa, because at least like other people, they had like other motivations, like oh my family, all of this stuff. But then she was like, nah, I just want a castle in Europe. I'm like, bro, you know, man, you know, man. Yeah, but I did not like her. And you know, another character that at first I was like, I kind of like Junko. You know, she got the right idea. Not in the whole despair thing, but my favorite quote from Junko Inoshima was, "Who doesn't like big women?" That was too funny, man. But then, bro, after I watched Danganronpa 3, is it the Future and Despair arc? I did not like. I did a whole 180. I was like, okay, I know she's a villain and all, but I can't help but like her and Monokuma, even though they're the same people. But bro, after what she did to Chiaki, my girl Chiaki, you cannot. You no 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 no. Bro, she did not deserve that, man. Honestly, I just did a total 180 and I was like, oh, I know I shouldn't like this villain, but I kind of do. But then after seeing what she did to Chiaki, I was like, no, 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 no. I hate you now. You're Subarashii on top list now. But what other characters were there from uh, the first Danganronpa game? I'm kind of thinking, okay. Oh, yeah, what's her name? Sorry, I just vibing to the music. But what's her name? The genocide Jack one. Her character, she's just annoying. Like, she, there's some characters that are just so annoying for no reason, and she was one of them because she just kept. Bro, she was just like, oh, be a Bayakiya, Bayakiya. Oh, step on me, all of this stuff. I'm like, ugh. It kind of reminds me of how much of a simp Kazuichi Soda was in the second game. Like I kind of want to like you, but then you just keep acting weird, bro. You just stop being sus, honestly. So that's why I kind of didn't like her. I kind of like the serial killer plot twist, but other than that, it was like meh. What other characters? Mm-mm-mm. I think that's oh yeah, Kyoko. Kyoko, my favorite. Kyoko, a real one, bro. She was Kyoko. Sorry, Kyoko, Kirigiri, and Chiaki are two of my favorite characters because they were actually useful during the trials. They were actual useful female characters, and I was like, bro, these two are actually written well. Like, you can't not like these characters because they were actually useful. Like other characters, they're just there. Like, what's her name, man? The one with the bazungas from the second game. How did I forget her? But you know who I'm talking about, though. The one that likes eating a lot. The ultimate gymnast. Yeah, she was like the reason I didn't like her was because she was so useless. Like she was never useful during the trial. She was just there for like random comic relief out of inappropriate times. Like I remember one time she was like, "Oh, if you get this right, I'll let you touch my breast." I'm like, "What? Why? But yeah, like, why are you saying this during a class trial? Like, is there something wrong with you? Like, honestly." And then she was just never useful anyway. She was just like, it's kind of like one of the characters that don't deserve to have lived till the end. There are other characters that I would prefer to have lived other than her. You get me? I think that kind of concludes the first game. This first game, the ending, I kind of did like it, where it was like, oh, we don't know what's past the door, if she was actually telling the truth, etc. And then it was kind of like, okay, what's this like new adventure that we're gonna do beyond the world? So I kind of did like that ending. I was like, okay, what's gonna happen next? Because the whole world outside is destroyed. So what's gonna happen? But obviously, I learned later that the Future Foundation came and like picked them up and stuff. But onto Danganronpa 2. Goodbye Despair. Yes, Trigger Happy Havoc was good. I give that like a honestly it's like a 7. Like one of the main problem was the pacing. Like I remember when it was like Mukuro Ikusaba, and then It was just like a whole plot point for way too long. And oh, I forgot about Alter Ego actually. Kind of feel sorry for him because it's a trap. It's a trap. So I kind of did feel sorry for him because obviously he got killed, and then not even just that, but Briuka, he literally moved his body, and then pin like so such unnecessary stuff, man. He's just there for entertainment. That's why I don't really like Briuka. So Danganronpa 2, my absolute favorite of the Dangan series. It was so good. Like it's so nostalgic. It has the best music, good animations, good story writing. But fam, the script and the pacing need to be have a change, man. Like those two are the things that let me down so much because, bro, Danganronpa 1, it was about like I don't know, like 40 something hours of gameplay, and then the second one was like 60 something. Like it was just way too long. Like the class trials were long, the monologue was long and unnecessary, and it was just like, bro, like can you just move past? Like the class trials were like the first class trials were already long, but then the ones in Goodbye Despair, they were just like way overly long. Like they went like 2.5 hours. I was like, bro, can you just like get a compass? Like I didn't skip any of it, obviously, because like the one of the reasons that made me like carry on watching it was me watching Berlin and like his reactions to everything, his jokes, his like added commentary just made it like that just worthwhile to actually watch and finish. So that was like one of the reasons why I really enjoyed watching Danganronpa, because if I was probably playing the game by myself, then I probably would have like not even, like maybe dropped it, but like I would have just like taken my time coming back to it just because of how annoying it is. But Berlin, he just made it like that just much more worth it watching it. And I like other than the game itself being better and the music being like just so nice and nostalgic to listen to and everything, like just Berlin watching it as well. Me watching Berlin play the game basically, well, it just made it like a lot more better, and it had like really good music. That's one of my favorite parts about it. But Danganronpa 2, Terror Terror, the first class trial, that was sad. That was sad, bro. Like when he was like, "Oh, I just want to. I made a promise to my mom and I'll go back to her because she was sick." That was sad. I'm not gonna lie. Now, at first I was like, Terry, you're a retard. You're stupid. So you're telling me that in order to save them, you attempted to kill everybody. Like it was flawed and it was selfish. But then once I was thinking a little bit more about it, I was like, damn, I can't lie, man. Like that's just kind of sad. It is. And what else? So I'm just vibing to the music, but and then oh my god, bro. Okay, so let's say these two things. The characters that I hate in Goodbye Despair. Number one has to be Monami bitch ass. Bro, the hate that Monami gets is so deserved. I see a little bit of Monami lovers being like, oh no, she was there, she was trying to protect the class. I'm like, no, she was useless. She was basically like kind of like our Akahina but worse, if that makes sense. She's useless. She like you don't got like you don't bring anything like of value, if that makes sense. Like she was just so annoying, man. Like one of the reasons why I hate Monami is because she acted like she cared, but then any chance that she got to actually be useful, she would just run away and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go now" or something. Like, or she was just there to defeat the Mono Beast, which I'm pretty sure someone else would have done it anyway. But like, if Monomi wasn't in the game, obviously there would be someone else to take the role of defeating the Mono Beast, so then they'll be able to go to the next island. But like, bro, she was like, I honestly, I just hate Monami, man. I hate Monami. I can't say anything else, man. Monami is schmuck. And who else was there? I don't like Miss Sonia and Kazuichi Soda, honestly. Sonia, never mind. I don't know why. I just don't like her. Like every single class trial, it's like Berlin. We always blamed her. which is hilarious because we blamed her every single class trial, even though she was innocent every single time. And I was like, damn, sorry, I guess, sorry. But it was funny because I was like, oh, I knew it was you, I knew it was you, Sonia, never mind. But then obviously it just ended up not being her. I kind of feel like that I'd rather her die than Nekomaru or Mekamaru, whichever one you want to say. Nekomaru, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I need a shit, I need a shit. I mean, honestly, Berlin, he kept hating on him and he kept saying he was farting, he was annoying. He needed to poo all the time, every time he was on screen. But I kind of liked him. I'm not gonna lie, especially when he died. That shit was sad, bro. I don't even understand how he died in the first place. But whatever. Um, what what's his name again? Gundam Tanaka. Me and my four devilish darlings of whatever. But I wanted to like him, but then I was like, like every time he's on screen, he just starts screaming, being like, ah ha ha. His voice actor, he was doing an awesome job, of voice acting him, but I just didn't really like him that much. But I respect him because he sacrificed himself and he fought Nekomaru like man to man, like one on one without the hamsters. And his death was just so sad when he found out that like Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower as well. That whole arc was just like overly long for me, honestly. Um, bro, what's his name again? This is the second person that like is a proper schmuck. It's Monami. It's Monami and what's his name's like Net. Oh, the crazy guy, basically the crazy guy, with the white hair. Bro, he was crazy, and he kept talking about, oh, hope, hope, hope. I'm like, bro, can you please be quiet? He's like, oh, in order for there to be ultimate hope, I need there to be ultimate despair. I'm like, bro, will you keep quiet? Like after the first class trial, like I liked him at first, but I was like, bro, he's sus, bro. Like he's too good. Like he's too much of a nice person, especially at the beginning of the game. Like he's obviously gonna do some sort of betrayal later, and the fact that he tried killing somebody at the start of the game, I was like, damn. Now, but you know what I don't get about Teru. He was he was like, oh, the reason why I did it was because I was trying to save you, and Nagito, that's his name, and Nagito was trying to kill you guys. I saw him planning all of it. If that was true, why didn't you tell anybody you knew exactly what was gonna happen? And instead of being like, oh, okay, I gotta save them, like actually save them and tell them what's going on, and like we need to like do something about him. They're like, I'm gonna take that then. I'm gonna take like that makes no sense. He was like, "Oh, I did it to save you guys by killing them, by trying to kill them in the first place." Like, why didn't you just tell them that he was planning to kill them instead of? But whatever, man. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. Um, but Nagito, he was too off it, man. And you know how these random fangirl accounts are always talking about doing all this nasty stuff. I'm just like, bro, this is why I don't like the Danganronpa community. I'm not gonna lie, like they're just too weird. It's kind of like the Undertale community where the game itself is really good and I really enjoy it, but I'm kind of scared to say that I'm part of the fandom because of how they act. Same with JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, which hopefully I'll do a review on that later. But I really did enjoy like the characters for the second game, and like just the second game my favorite overall. But I haven't. Well, I'm waiting for Berlin to play the third game, so that could change depending on how good it is. But I have seen like a little bit of it with the monocubs. I kind of got spoiled on it because I knew about the monocubs, and when I was watching Danganronpa Anime 2.5, I saw literally students that exact same color scheme, and I was like, okay, well, guess we know who the monocubs are. But obviously, it still doesn't spoil the whole rest of the game. But I just have to like carry on watching. I'm waiting for Berlin to finally actually upload. What else? Um, character wise, but I did not like I forgot what her name is. It was the freaking lowly. Oh, she was so annoying, man. She was always bullying. What's her name? Bro, how come I've forgotten like all of their names now? But she was always bullying the girl with anxiety. She was always like being overly rude, like just a bit. I'm not gonna lie, she was just being a bitch in general, man. Like she everybody, and then she tried acting all sad when Nakumaru died, and building that freaking devil shrine. And I was kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I was glad when she died, but then like when later on I was like, but she didn't deserve it, man. She didn't deserve to die. And it's kind of funny because uh the way that she was, what's it called, the way that she was like put on the pillow with her robe like the opposite way around. Apparently, it's like a symbol of calling a woman a whore, which is like, yo, that remembering disease got you become a savage. But bro, honestly, I need to remember these characters' names, man. I just like have a blank. Like, yeah, it's kind of like when somebody asks you, "Oh, what do you like?" or "What's your name?" and then you completely forget everything you've ever known ever. Like someone could be like, "Oh, what's your name?" and you could be like, "Drugs." Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why? But I remember in a bit. But Kazuichi Soda, here's another character that I wanted to like, but I just couldn't like him, man. Like he was just such a sim. Like he was always like, "Oh, Miss Sonia," and oh my god, bro. Like Miss Sonia, she not helping you, bro. She was saying, three times, "Oh, if you were penetrated by something so big and hard, like you would die." I was like, "Yo, what are you saying?" And then Kazuichi Soda just like, "Oh, say it again, say it again, say it." Like his nah, 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 nah. He's too much of sim for me to like, especially towards the ending. He just got like super annoying. I was like, bro, I was rooting for you, man. I was rooting for you. Why do you have to be annoying as shit? But a character that I did like the best character, obviously has to be my girl Chiaki. Cause bro, she was useful. She was actually like she added something to the plot and to the class trials. What else? Like literally, she's just like a great character. And how could you not like Chiaki, bro? Honestly, like Chiaki's just such an amazing character. You just love Chiaki, and it was sad how she died. Uh, but like she was literally an AI. Like she was literally an AI. I was like, whoa, Nani? But then I knew that the original Chiaki died because, like, from watching the second game, Chiaki was there and she was saying, "Oh, I'm an AI," and then I was like, oh, "Okay, so she didn't exist, right? She wasn't like an actual person in the real game." But then once I started watching the Danganronpa 3 anime, I was like, "Hold up! So if Chiaki is an actual person and she wasn't able to get into the game for the second thingy, that means she would have died." I was like, "Oh man!" And when she died, bro, this shit was the saddest. This is literally this was literally the saddest death in the whole game, man. Like honestly, that's why I hate Junko Inoshima so much, man. But what other part? Danganronpa 2 characters are there? Hold up. But honestly, man, the script for it is so good. No, not script. The sorry, why am I having mind blank right now? The music for it is so good. Who else is Oh yeah, there was I forgot her name. It was like Mahu, the photographer, the one with the red hair. She like she was one of those characters again where I hated them at first. She was always talking about gender roles and being like, "Oh, you're a man, you should be doing this. You're a man." I was like, "Shut up, bro!" Like she was going like, "Oh, you should be a man," but then she wasn't acting like you should be a traditional man. But then she was definitely not acting like a traditional woman, if that makes sense. Like she was a little Subarashii at times. I'm not gonna lie, but it, again, just like the lowly girl, like I hated them when they were alive, but when they died, I was sad for them. I was like, damn, that's my neighbor. Why she have to die like that? Yeah, and I think that's most of the characters. There's I forgot what her name was, man, but oh my god, bro. I cannot forgive her for what she did because you know throughout the whole game she was acting all shy and she was like, oh, I'm sorry, and every time she fell over, bro, she like, bro, how do you fall like that? Like literally anime trope 101 where like the girl falls, she has her hands tied, like BDSM stuff in there. I'm like, yo, like what is all of this? Like how, I don't know, man, but. Oh yeah, the best character, my absolute favorite character from the second one, apart from Chiaki, of course, has to be, has to be, has to be my boy, Baby Gangster. If you know the reference, you know the reference. I don't know why I forgot his name as well, but Baby Gangster, I swear I did not like him at first. He was such a little bit, man. I wanted to punch him, man. But then once Pekka Pekka Yama died, I was like, ugh, ugh. And then he was like, oh, I'm gonna. He literally stabbed himself just so then he could prove his worth and prove that he changed. And I respect that, man. Cause like at first I was like, bro, it's like such a generic trope. Like, oh, I'm gonna show how sorry I am. Oh, I'm gonna stab myself. But then after how he acted, he was my favorite. Like he was written so well. Like I feel like his out of the characters apart from Chiaki again, he was the best written character. And honestly, you can't take that away from him, man. And then I forgot about Pekka Pekka Yama as well. Pekka Pekka Yama, she, I don't know, it kind of felt a bit lackluster where it was like, oh, you're my young master, and I had to take care of my young master, my young master. But then when you looked into it a little bit more, you were like, oh, she was just doing it for him. And she was literally sacrificing herself for him because he was about to kill her, but then he was like, nah, I'll do it. I was like, oh. And then the whole shining justice thing, that was just like useless, honestly. Like a lot of these trials were just like went on for way too long, and I was just like, oh my days, man. But then, bro, why have I forgotten this girl's name, man? Let me just quickly. Sorry about this. Let me pause it. Okay, so I just paused it to look up the names. I know Trosha's Danganronpa fan, but okay, so Mikan. She was the one that like I'm not gonna lie, she was like my second favorite wife. I'm not gonna lie, like bro, you can't tell me she wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But Mikan, oh yeah, Ibuki, bro, but Ibuki, she don't deserve that as well, bro. Like Ibuki was one of those characters. She was lively. She added to it and everything. Like she was one of those great characters. Like I really did like Ibuki, but then bro, she just died. And I was like, damn. Well, there goes one of my favorite characters. You know, if a character is good, just kill them. Okay, keep all the bad characters. Um, Hajime, I do not like Hajime, bro. Honestly, he pissed me off. Don't ask why. Um. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Well, I forgot. It's not even here. Oh yeah, Hiyoko. Hiyoko was the one that I did not like. I don't like Hiyoko, man. She was so rude to Mikan all the time. Every single opportunity she got to get at Mikan, she would like literally for no reason as well. But the one that I did not like is Akane. Like, bro, I want to like Akane because obviously, bro, she black female. I was like, bro, give me a reason to make you, you know. And I was like, yo, she kind of thick though. But then, bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. The more she spoke, I was like, bro, just keep your mouth quiet. Honestly, man, it's kind of sad because again, it's one of those characters where you really do want to like them, but then they just end up disappointing you. So, you know, that happened. Um, so yeah, that kind of like concludes. And then Junko. So when Junko came back, and then the OG cast came as well, I was like, I was gassed, you know. I was so hyped. I was like, yo, the OG cast coming, and then they did us dirty by not bringing what's his name, the freaking the guy that's always hide with the dreadlocks from the first game. I was like, why isn't he here? I was literally like, why is he not here? I was so disappointed, man, because I was like, bro, actually really liked him, bro, and especially the voice that Berlin gave him. I felt like it was perfect for his character, but then they didn't bring him. It was just Kyoko, Hajime, um, and bro, Buyuka. It was only those three, and I was like, oh, okay then. And I guess Alter Ego as well, if you want to technically say Alter Ego was there as well. Bro, this video is 40 minutes long. It's gonna take ages to render, but let me just quickly talk about the third anime, the anime for the third thingy. So where do I start? So the despair arc and the future arc, I'm telling you, they are amazing. They just amplified to the series like by 1,000 times, because before I was like, oh, it's not enough for me to like put it up there. But then honestly, when like that just it really did just end up making it like one of probably maybe in my top 10. I'm not sure, but I'll have to see what I have to take out of the top 10 and see if it actually is good enough. But I'm telling you, I enjoyed watching it so much. I enjoyed watching Danganronpa 3 Despair and Future Arc so much, because it is again added so much to the story. I understood like how everything was started, and even though it was confusing with the watch order where you have to watch one episode of Future and then you have to watch one episode of the Despair and then you fluctuate like that. But it really like if you don't watch it that way, then again you really won't like understand completely, like, you know, I forgot what those three characters names were, but the ones were the girl that had like she was the ultimate cake, the ultimate sweet maker, and then the other guy was the ultimate weapon maker, and then the other one was just the third one was just a druggie. Honestly, like she was just she just like had a bunch of drugs to drink to like enhance her body and stuff, and she was like super cool. I'm not gonna lie, and she did get done dirty, not just by oh, how do I forget his name again, bro? Not just by the ultimate lucky student guy from the second game, but by her friends. Her friends literally they were not her friends. Literally, she was like, "Oh, why don't you eat my candy?" And she was like, "Bro, if I eat it, I'll die. Like literally, I'm gonna die. What don't you understand about that?" And then she still kept treating her like crap. And the other boy, the ultimate like weapons maker, he treated her like crap as well. And then like she has a right to be mad, but then she ended up dying like brutally. Like, did you see? I'll bring up now actually. Like this, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but bro, she died brutally, man. I think she had to kill herself because she watched the suicide video, which I don't really understand completely the whole suicide video thing, because you know the girl, what's it called, the teacher for the from the second for the students in the second game, the teacher, she was under the despair video for like literally since the beginning. Well, tell me why. I don't understand how she gave the headmaster the spare video, right? So and then wouldn't that mean that he would have watched the spare video, and what? Okay, so wouldn't he piece together? How would you know? And how, okay, first, how did you get it? Second, how would you know that it was the despair video? Because she would have needed to watch it. So wouldn't you piece together like, okay, so why is she giving me this? And again, wouldn't she have needed to watch it in order to know that it actually is the despair video before just handing it to me? You understand? So I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense, man. The teacher's a schmuck as well, because she was the one who started like the whole thing as well, bro. Oh my god, bro. And then I don't, bro. It put a bad taste in my mouth when Mikan she pushed she pushed Chiaki in that place, and then she obviously what ended up the most brutal death in my opinion. Danganronpa, the most saddest, when Chiaki died, and then all of the classmates were just watching. I was like, oh man. I was like, damn, like this, like it was so brutal as well. Like she was literally like, oh, I'm not gonna give up. Like her whole body just messed up, and then like right at the end when like all of those spears shot into her. Oh my days, man. And then like apparently Hajime became Ikaru. What's his name? Like Ikaru some shit. Like it was just like kind of confusing, and also not even just that. You know the in Danganronpa 2, the remembering disease. That was such. That was like. That was like such a stupid way for her to go out. Like, oh, remembering disease, or I remembered like all of this stuff. I'm like, so basically, technically, with the remembering disease, she remembered how she was in the before they went into the game, which was technically they were in despair. But it's so dumb because she started going like, "Oh, I'm gonna go back to her. I love her. All of this stuff." I'm like, "What?" Like the whole class trial for her was just like so lackluster. And again, it still went on for way too long, and her execution was like the worst execution. It just felt like really crap. And even other people in the comments were saying that this is like kind of the worst execution. And I agree with that honestly because it was just like I know there's no like M to it. It was just like lackluster. It just felt like it needed something else, and not just like for it to be longer because it was already long as hell. Also, one thing that I forgot about was in the second game, no, in the first game. Oh, okay. So they voted out Hajime towards the ending of the first game. They voted out Hajime. Sorry, Makoto. They voted Makoto as the killer, which doesn't make any sense in the first place, right? But then they saw him like they were like, oh, okay, I'm fine with him getting executed. And then literally when he came back, they all came hugging him like, oh yeah, you're back, you're back. I'm like, I would have been like, piss off, bro, get off me. You guys voted me out. You guys literally voted me out. Said I was the killer. Tried getting me executed, and then I come back and you're trying to act like, oh, buddy, buddy. I'm like, bro, who is you? Like, I don't know why he was just like, oh guys, hey, I'm back. And then they were all acting like they all missed him and stuff. Like they didn't just try getting him executed. But yeah, the ending of Danganronpa 3 anime, that was like honestly just the whole thing. Just watching how like bro, like I noticed all of the foreshadowing in the previous two games as well. Before I watched the anime, like all of the foreshadowing. Remember all of those people where she was like, "Oh, the most beautiful side that even gets me, who gets bored so easily, like to like feel something." And then it was like all of these people committing suicide. Like, whoa! Like all of the what's called the thingy division. Yo, honestly, some plot points in the game are actually really good, but it was just so brutal, man. Like how the first ever actual Danganronpa game that Junko brought in, where yo, it was just so messed up, man. It was like, oh, all of these tapes with all of your secrets in, and then you have to all kill each other, and then yo, that scene was just so brutal, man. Like people were shooting each other, everything, like they hugged. Oh my god, bro, that was just so brutal, man. Like even me, who like again, I like really brutal and gory stuff. That scene just made me go like like honestly, man. But honestly, as a whole, the Danganronpa series is super good. You guys should check it out if you already haven't. I mean, I don't really see how anybody wouldn't because technically, I'm speaking about everything that has happened and I said spoilers. But anyway, you should still watch it. This video is like 50 minutes long. It's gonna take like 4 hours to render. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review or me talking about it, whatever you want to call it. I give Danganronpa so far overall score a probably 7.5. That's not bad, but it's not like up there, if that makes sense. If they get their pacing down, then I could definitely bring it up. But Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the rankings for the previous two reviews as well. So for the Berserk review, I gave it a 9.7. Oh no, not 9.7, 9 point. Probably like 9.8. Like that is super good. Probably 9.9. Honestly, like it's I can't truly rank everything like something a 10 out of 10 unless like there's zero mistakes, zero like I wouldn't change absolutely anything in it. So that's like probably the highest rating that I would ever give anything anyway. And the Invincible one, I'll probably give that like an 8.9, like 8.9. Yeah, just for like the first season alone. But then we'll have to see more since it only has 8 episodes. I'll probably put it as an 8.5. But that it is super good and you should check those both out. So that's another review from me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.